Well, welcome everybody. We're going to change the oil here in my Prius. This is second generation, 2005 Prius. I've had other things on here, but it's time for the 115,000 mile service, which is basically just a oil change and a filter and check everything else to see if it's all right. I'm going to go ahead and change the brake fluid just because it's 115,000. The big service will be on this at 120,000, where the transmission fluid will need changing again. I changed it at 60,000, and of course the cabin filter, the air filter, pretty much everything will need to be changed at 120,000. I'm just using fully synthetic 5W30 and a Fram. I like Fram auto filters. They're kind of easier to get on and off. And as far as oil, name brands don't mean that much to me. As long as it's the right oil for the car, that seems to be fine. And I always put some fuel injector cleaner in there. Who knows if it works or not? Couldn't hurt. It's only about $1. Walmart oil's $17 for this gallon jug. Okay, we'll get started. Okay, under our oil catch pan under here. I like to take the oil refill cap off. Seems like it makes it run out a little easier. This is the reason why I like to use a Fram filter. I didn't the last time because this one came with the oil, but you notice there how it doesn't want to come off easy. I bought this filter at Advance, and it came with the oil. They had it on sale. This ain't working real good right here. I don't know what the deal is. It doesn't tighten up on it, so we'll have to get another one. This is supposed to be the one for it, but it just slides around. Well, I'll have to find something else. Okay, I had to use these pliers to get that off. That's the reason I'd rather just use a Fram filter, even though they may have a special on the others. Close quarters. It wouldn't be this hard if I'd used a Fram. Should have had on some gloves, but it's hard to operate the camera with the gloves on. Okay, I'll clean this up a little bit. Clean all the oil off. Put the oil plug back in. I just tighten these and then snug it a little bit. You don't want to damage the threads. There. There's tight. And then I go about 3 little tugs. Rip all the oil off. The reason all these bolts are kind of rusty looking under here is this car was kind of submerged in a hurricane in Florida. We went down to Florida on a cruise, and we come back. The car, I don't know how high up the water had been, but it started right up, and we drove home fine. But the water must have been up high enough to get it up under here, because it made all the bolts a little rusty under here. Before that, it looked brand new under here, but it didn't seem to ever hurt anything. Well, let's get my new filter. Always take some of the new oil and put around on the gasket. Some people pour oil in the filters, but I never have done that. I don't think it's necessary. And it's never been a problem with me. And we'll clean this up here a little bit more again. See, the Fram filter's got this grip on it, and you can just about do everything by hand. Screw it on there by hand, hand tight, and then you can get it off a lot easier than some of these other brands. And I believe the filter is better in them. That costs $1 or $2 more, but it's probably worth it. So now we got the plug in there, got the oil filter on, and I generally look around at everything, make sure everything looks okay. Okay. Seems all right. The boots. Check the boots on the axles. They seem to be still okay. 115,000 miles. Okay, now we'll go up and put some new oil in it. The funnel here. Done got the cap off. I always take it off. Seems like it makes the oil run out a little better. And we'll pour some oil in here. They don't hold but about 4 quarts, but you can generally buy this gallon cheap, and you can just save it till the next oil change. Okay, let's check it and see how much we got in there. Clean the dipstick off. Well, not hardly to the bottom mark yet. Don't want to overfill it. Okay, check it again. Okay, we're about halfway between the 2 marks. Put a little more in it. Okay, I don't know whether you can see it or not, but that actually looks just right. Yep, just right. Okay, get this funnel out of here. Be sure and put this back on there. One time I forgot and drove it a ways, and then I could smell oil. It had slung oil out this opening because I didn't put the cap on it. And I always like to put the cap here where the hood closes down. That way you won't forget to put it back on because you can't close the hood. Wipe everything off here a little bit. Okay. Like I said, the filter don't need to be changed till the next oil change at 120,000, which is a lot to be. Brakes probably need changing and all by then. I changed the coolant. Wish that I made a video on it. I changed the coolant at 100,000 for the batteries and the motor. Did it myself. Really, it took a while. It comes out, the coolant yet drains out really slow, and it took about 3 hours to do it. That was the only problem. It wasn't hard to do. Okay. That looks like I'll get in here and start it up. Get my camera here to lock into the right position, if it will. Okay, let's go in and start it, check for leaks. Okay, sounds all right. I'll look underneath it and see if there's any leaks, and I'll take you with me. All looks all right. I'm going to take this gas treatment around and put it in, and I'll go around and lubricate all the door hinges. Lubricate all the door hinges. Put this in there, and that's about it for just an oil change. It's a not a hard thing to do. The worst thing is getting under the car, I guess. Get a little oil on your hand. Thanks for watching my video, and please subscribe and like, because if you don't hit like on it, I don't even know if you're watching it or not, and it doesn't cost a thing to subscribe. Subscribe just shows that you do watch my videos. Thanks for watching. All right, there. We're going to change the brake fluid, 115,000. I was going to wait to 120, but I've got so many things to do at 120. I thought I'd just change it now. You know, .3 says on the lid here, .3. This you just kind of pull it up. Okay, we'll get this old fluid out. It looks good, but like I said, I think it's good to change all your fluids when they get up to over 100,000. This is a turkey baster here I'm using to get this fluid out. my old Nissan truck, the brake fluid didn't hit. Looked like it'd been in there ever since it was new. Of course, this still looks good, but I'm gonna change it anyway. Oh, over 100,000 miles. I think you should change your power steer fluid, all your fluids, by that time. Now there are some would say to go bleed the brakes and all that, but I think if you change out the fluid in your reservoir every 100,000 miles, I don't think you have to do that. There's a lot of brake fluid in here. That looks like it's about it. All right, set this aside. Get a little funnel. Okay, fill it back up. A little in there. Fill it up to maximum. Yeah, a little over maximum, but there wasn't enough in that bottle to keep. Snap this back on there, and we got the brake fluid changed, so I won't have to do that at 120. Turn everything off here good. I'm gonna write that down in my service manual so I'll know I did it. It's good to write everything you do to your car down, and that way you know what you've done, because believe it or not, you forget if you don't. Okay, we're on the inside of the car. We're going to reset the service light, the check engine light. On page 122 in your manual, it tells how to do it. You press the power button, switch to the off position, which that's where it's at now, with the ohm meter button showing. Press the power switch twice to select ignition mode while holding down the trip meter. Trip meter's over here, right up here underneath your display. And there it is. My arm was probably in the way, but basically what you do, without putting your foot on the brake, you just hit the power button while you're holding the trip button over here under your display, and just keep holding it, and you'll see the zeros count down. And when you've done that, then your maintenance service light will not be showing until 5,000 miles, when it's time to change the oil and service it again. Alright, page 22 in your service manual, and but basically, you know, any service manual, they put more steps in there than you need. You basically, without putting your foot on the brake, hit the button twice while you're holding the trip meter, the trip button there, and then keep holding it until on the dash goes to all zeros on your trip digits. That's all there are to that. I'm spraying all the door hinges, door stops, and everything with this heavy duty silicone spray. I do this every time I change the oil. And do the service. Get the locks here. And I'll do the other side. I printed off this Prius service manual paper off the internet. It tells you what to do at every mileage. This was 115, and I had changed the wipers too. Those wipers, I really like those. They were Arian. I got them off of eBay for $15 shipping and all. And of course I went ahead and changed the brake fluid this time, because 120, there's a lot of stuff to do. But that's pretty nice to have, you know, to keep up with everything you've done. Because like I say, it's hard to remember what you've done and what you haven't done. Alright, I think that winds it up for this oil change. Get your car off the rack, and I'll make another video at 120,000 miles where I'm changing the transmission fluid and a lot of other things that I didn't do this time. Prius is pretty easy to service, as you can see. Worst part's just getting down underneath it, getting a little oil on you. Thanks for watching. Please hit like and subscribe. It costs you nothing to subscribe, but it motivates me more to make the videos if I think they're of interest to people. Thanks for watching again. I like to check the air pressure in the tires when I do the service also. You know, it says everything, but if you'll put about 32 pounds in your tires, you'll be all right.